What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Jagan Gaming. So today, reading the news and I find out that Kathleen Kennedy has extended her contract by 3 years with Disney. So we were all confident that we were going to be rid of her. And instead, Disney decided to go ahead and extend her contract by 3 years. So whatever faith I had that we were going to be able to fix Star Wars is pretty much gone at this point. It means Episode 9 is probably going to be shit. There's no really better way for me to put that. It's going to be god-awful. This is the first new Star Wars movie that I am actually not excited for. I'm not excited about it in the least bit. I'm actually just not necessarily afraid of what I'm going to see when I go to the theater. I'm going to go see it. I'm not going to lie to you. Unless between now and when the movie gets released, there's going to be God knows what kind of crap, and then I decide, okay, I'm just going to boycott this crap. But Disney has completely just destroyed this franchise. And I could go on and on and on, but in all honesty, the only new Star Wars movie that has come out within the last couple of years that I actually enjoyed was Rogue One. My wife and I went to go see that movie, and she was pregnant with our son at the time. And the only problem I had with the movie is that I guess you just didn't have a chance to get to know the characters. I suspected, okay, these people are probably going to all be dead by the end of the movie. But that was the only problem I had with it. Okay? At the very end, when you know, they're trying to board that, the blockade runner, and next thing you know, you hear Darth Vader breathing, and then he ignites his lightsaber. I remember grabbing my wife's hand, and later on she said, hey, you know, you were grabbing my hand so hard that, you know, it was starting to hurt. Okay, but, you know, and my wife isn't a Star Wars fan either. Or rather, I'm a definite Star Wars fan. She's not a Star Wars fan, but she agreed. She's like, that movie was actually really good. And that's coming from someone who had never even seen the original movies. My wife had never seen the original Star Wars movies. We had to do a Star Wars marathon with my nephew. When we found out she had never seen any Star Wars movies, my nephew and I both looked at each other. We looked at her. And then we said, okay, you are going to have to sit here and watch all of these movies. And that's exactly what they did. So I left to go to work. Now I was on active duty at the time, so I left around 6 or so just so I could go to PT. And what they did... sorry, that's my cat. Oh my God, that hurts. Go. Sorry about that. So anyway... I left to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and when I came home around 5, 6 o'clock at night, they were still in their PJs because they had a full Star Wars marathon all day. My nephew made her sit there and watch Episode 1 through Episode 6. So that was my wife's first time watching Star Wars. And I just looked at her like, how the hell have you never seen Star Wars before? And she's like, well, I just was never into it. And, you know, I think, was it 70 to 80% of the fan base is male, I think, so that would make sense. Okay, you know, Star Wars is more male than it is female. Apparently Kathleen Kennedy didn't get that memo, but, you know, it is what it is. So... also, there's been some rumors about Episode 9, and again, I actually don't care. I'm not excited about the rumors. I could care less about these rumors. It's not like when Rogue One was coming out, then I was really excited, like, okay, who are these characters, and what's it going to be about, and I was excited to see the normal, the X-65, or excuse me, the T-65 X-Wing. I was really excited to see that because then, you know, Force Awakens had already come out, so then you saw the new X-Wings, and I actually like how the older ones look better, but that's just me. It was just really exciting to see Y-Wings and X-Wings, and then you saw the new U-Wing, the TIE Striker, and the Death Troopers. It was really exciting. And even with Force Awakens, it was nice to see Han Solo and Chewie again. It was nice to see the Millennium Falcon again. Now, even with the Force Awakens, I liked it, but I had issues with it. Okay, like, how is this girl so powerful? Who are her parents? How is it that she's never held a lightsaber, and then within an hour of learning that she's got the Force, she's able to do a Jedi mind trick, and then she can best someone of Skywalker lineage in lightsaber combat? And she just found out she had the Force not an hour ago. And I could go on and on and on, but I still liked it. It was, and I'll be honest, it was nice to see a new Star Wars movie. It had been a long time since a new Star Wars movie had been. I think, what was it, 10 years since a Star Wars movie had come, since episode 3 came out. So it's been a while since a Star Wars movie had come out. So here comes The Last Jedi. All right, episode 8's coming out. And I remember, going there with, again, I'm going with my wife. We made a date out of it. And she is not the Star Wars fan that I am. Okay. And I remember just being so excited because I was hearing about all of these theories that about episode 8. I was hearing how, people were theorizing, okay, Rey it's one of 3 bloodlines. A, she's of Skywalker lineage, which was the most, as far as I was concerned, that was probably the more acceptable theory. Okay, B, she was of the Kenobi lineage. Okay, I thought, okay. And then C, she was of Palpatine's lineage, which actually kind of excited me to hear that theory, but I was willing to buy into it. So I thought, okay, either A, she's Skywalker, Kenobi, or possibly Palpatine, which would explain why she is so powerful. Okay? I was hearing rumors about who Snoke was, and this was all over YouTube. You couldn't go onto YouTube without seeing all these theories about who Snoke was. Okay, and of course everybody's thinking, okay, this is Darth Plagueis. Then there was the rumor that, this is actually Mace Windu, who survived episode 3, and now here he is back, but he's turned to the dark side, and I really wasn't buying into that. I think at the time, that's when Darth Maul got reintroduced into Star Wars Rebels, I think. And now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, well, hey, if Maul can still be alive, then, so can Mace Windu. And I just thought, yeah, but, you can't just keep bringing back all the different characters. Maybe 1 or 2. Okay, that's great to see this person survive, but come on, you can't bring back everybody. Okay, it'll start getting old and stale real quick. A lot of people were saying, okay, like I said, okay, obviously this is Plagueis. And there was one theory I remember seeing on YouTube that I thought was really interesting. Somebody pointed out that Snoke looked like an older version of one of the younglings in episode 3. And I thought about it, and so I went back and looked at episode 3. I'm like, wow, he actually does kind of a little bit look like the youngling. And the youngling I'm talking about is when Skywalker walked into the Jedi Council chambers or whatever. There was a youngling who walked up and said, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them, what are we going to do? And then that's when that's when Darth Vader ignited his lightsaber. The theory was that youngling who spoke up to Anakin, or Darth Vader rather, is Snoke. He survived whatever injuries Darth Vader gave him, and he had spent all these years recouping and recovering from those injuries. Which I thought, okay, that would make sense, because Snoke did mention, I believe in one of the books, that he had survived the Republic and he had survived the Empire. So I thought, well, okay, he was a youngling at the time during the Republic, so this would make sense. Okay, I can buy into this. Okay, and so I thought, all right, that's a possibility. Put that in the maybe pile. Excuse me. So again, there were all these theories. that were just going on all over the place. People were excited. We were pumped up because then they're like, hey, the Knights of Ren. We're going to see who the Knights of Ren are. Okay, and everyone had expected, okay, these were Jedi from Luke Skywalker's academy. And they had been corrupted and turned to the dark side. And people were saying, okay, we're going to see who Rey's parents are. And a lot of people were saying, okay, look, she's Skywalker's daughter. He hid her on Jakku, kind of similar to how he was kind of hidden on Tatooine, okay? And I remember just being just overly excited, and my wife is just staring at me. I'm bouncing around in my seat because I'm excited. There's that, just like when I was a little kid, and you're going to see a Star Wars movie, and you're excited when you're sitting in that theater, and then the lights dim, and then the music starts. You feel like a kid again. But not this time. I remember thinking in the theater, okay, what the hell is this? What is this? Okay, I was still excited because I was watching a Star Wars movie, and I walked out of the theater. My wife's like, and I look at my wife, and I asked, what did you think? And she looked at me and said, I really liked it. I thought, okay, that's good. She's like, what about you? And I was like, well, I was kind of I was entertained, but I was equally disappointed. I was really on the fence initially. That's just me being honest. Okay, I thought there were some interesting points of it, but I remember walking out of that theater thinking, what in the hell did I just watch? What the hell is this casino planet? Okay, what was this crap about when Rey jumped into that pool in that cave? I guess reminiscent of Luke on Dagobah when he went into the cave. There was nothing there. No Knights of Ren, nothing about her parents or her lineage, nothing. And then they destroyed Luke Skywalker's character. They murdered his character. They made him look so bad. Everything that Luke did in that movie is not what the Luke I grew up with would have done. The Luke Skywalker that I knew as a child when I was in elementary school when Star Wars first came out, Luke Skywalker never would have hidden himself on a planet and just sat around waiting for the Jedi to die out. That's not what he would have done. If you read the books, you would have known this is not what Luke Skywalker would have done. And just like everything else in our society, these SJWs and feminists have gotten their claws into something and they destroyed it. They absolutely destroyed it. So, as a result of walking out, I looked at the movie again. Okay, and I remember being at work having a discussion with coworkers, and they all said the same thing. They said, I don't know how I feel about this. I was equally entertained as I was disappointed. And these are just diehard Star Wars fans just like I am. And after doing some more research, and then, not necessarily research, but it didn't take very long before that, that excitement wore off. Where with The Force Awakens, I did still have my issues with it, but I was still excited about it. But not with The Last Jedi. That excitement wore off within a couple of days, give or take. Because now that the excitement is wore off, now it's kind of like beer goggles. You take the beer goggles off, and now you're seeing this female, how she actually really looks. That's how I felt. Now I'm starting to see a bunch of things that I think my excitement was not allowing me to see. Okay, and I was just like, okay, there's a lot of feminism and social justice, a lot more than what I'd care to see in a Star Wars movie. And that's when it hit me. These people have destroyed this franchise. How do you screw up the middle movie of a trilogy so bad that you have to wonder, can you go back and save this? Is it even possible? And the firestorm from the fans was just, phenomenal. I saw lots of Star Wars fans getting together and rallying, saying, hey, look, Kathleen Kennedy, she needs to be gone. I know she's been in cinema or theater for a long time, and you know what? I'm sure she's probably good at what she does, But she's not a Star Wars fan. Whoever sits in that seat should have been a diehard Star Wars fan. Whoever sitting in her position should be able to tell you certain things about the franchise that only a fan would know. Even, it doesn't matter if it's canon or if it comes from the old Star Wars universe. It doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, you should be able to tell me who Darth Revan marries. Okay, regardless of whether it's not considered canon anymore. It's Star Wars Legends now. But most people know that. They know who Darth Revan married. They know about Knights of the Old Republic. They know about the Mandalorians. They know about, backgrounds of certain characters. Whoever's sitting in that seat should know these things. And I'm willing to bet, if I put a gun to Kathleen Kennedy's head and asked her, okay, what size hyperdrive does the Death Star have? You better tell me, I'm going to blow your brains out. She'd probably be a dead woman. Pretty sure it's a class 4, by the way. But these are things that Star Wars people, these are things that fans know. Because, we're fans. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And then you got Rian Johnson. Okay, this guy is just so full of soy, it's just mind-boggling. In all reality, somebody needs to put a restraining order on him. He does not need to touch anything Star Wars ever again. He should not be allowed within 50 miles of anything that is Star Wars, because he destroyed Episode 8. And they all do the same. And J.J. Abrams, you know what? He did the same thing. He made these little tweets or whatever. I'm not on Twitter, so whatever the hell you call them. But the thing is, he did the same thing that Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson did. If you don't like Episode 8, then you're a misogynist. If you don't like it, oh, you're racist. Oh, you don't want to see a strong female protagonist, and all this other stupid nonsense. Calling the fans stupid, calling the fans uneducated. Okay, you get woke, you go broke. And you would think Disney would have learned that lesson, but apparently they didn't. I guess they said, "Fuck it, let's see where this goes." So I know a lot of people are not excited for Episode 9 at all. Am I willing to give it a shot? Right now, I'm just not. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. I get within that month or so before the movie's due to release, that might change. I'm like, well, okay, it's Star Wars. You're gonna go. Who the fuck are you lying to? But I'm not excited about it at all. I'm just not. So I'm hearing rumors in Yahoo News that supposedly they're going to retcon Rey's parents. So I guess her parents are going to be in the movie. So I guess we're actually going to see who Rey's parents are. Because I guess they're trying to fix all this damage caused by Episode 8. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to do that. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. Okay, like the Knights, you're going to have to put the Knights of Ren in there. I guess we're just not concerned about Snoke. Is he coming back, or is he pretty much done? So I guess we don't really care who Snoke was. We're not going to get much of a backstory on him, I guess. I'm not sure, but again, I don't care. For the first time in the history of Star Wars since I've been alive, I don't care. That's how bad they have fucked up. And it's like they don't give a shit. I don't know, what is it gonna take for Episode 9 to bomb just like Solo did? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, do we need to start rallying, the Star Wars fans and say, hey, boycott Episode 9, hey, we're not gonna go see anything else Star Wars until Kathleen Kennedy's gone? I don't know how much more money Disney can afford to lose before they finally say, okay, let's go ahead and cut her loose. But like I said, when I read that she had been extended for 3 years, I just thought, what the hell? I was confident we were rid of her. I was so confident. Okay, and when you just read the writing on the wall, everything said, okay, you destroyed episode 8. Episode 8 destroyed the franchise. And then there's the Solo, which bombed. Okay, this is a done deal. She's gone. And I'm not too excited about this new Star Wars show, Star Wars Resistance. Doesn't look good to me. It doesn't. Sorry. I'm willing to give it a chance. Maybe it'll be good. But right now, but that's the damage that Episode 8 did. The fact that when I remember when Star Wars Resistance first aired, the trailer first aired, I remember thinking, okay, this looks like shit. So, not really sure, to be frankly honest. Like, where do we go from here? How is this gonna work? So we'll have to see. So I'm gonna try my best to keep an open mind. Maybe I'll give I think it comes out in 2 weeks, I think, or I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to go look. Maybe I'll give it a shot. We'll see. Okay, maybe they'll impress me, and then my faith in Star Wars will be renewed. But I don't have my hopes up right now, to be frankly honest. Something tells me, I mean, just from the like-dislike ratio from the initial trailer, it wasn't looking good. Okay, it just wasn't looking good. And quite frankly, a part of me says, if you're gonna fix this, you're gonna have to do a complete teardown and rebuild. That means you're gonna have to do this whole sequel trilogy all over again. And I'm not sure Disney's probably gonna be willing to do that. I've seen some videos where they mention, okay, the only way you're gonna fix episode 9 is if you do like episode 9 part 1 and part 2. So then you can put in all those things that should have been in episode 8. Like, the parents, the Knights of Ren, Snoke's background, and all this other stuff, plus the events of whatever's going on in episode 9. I'm also read that I guess they're bringing Luke Skywalker back. So I don't know is he going to come back from the nether regions of the Force, or is he just going to be there as a Force ghost? So I read he's coming back because the fans weren't very happy that he killed off their childhood hero in the worst way possible. My God, if he's going to die, let him die saving Rey from the Knights of Ren or something. Nope, we're not going to do that. So... So I wasn't placed in the best of moods when I saw today that Kathleen Kennedy's not going anywhere. So she's here for at least another 3 years. So it's like this is what it felt like when Order 66 dropped. That's kind of how I feel, to be honest. But oh well, it is. There's really nothing we can do about it. Just kind of maybe. I've had some people say she's going to be micromanaged. Who knows? We'll just have to see. Hopefully Disney learned their lesson from Solo and we won't get crap. Hopefully they learned that lesson and they not listen to the social justice warriors and the feminists. Instead, listen to your fan base, the people who are actually willing to pull money out of their pocket. Well, anyway, that's all for me. It's kind of late. It's like 3 or so in the morning. Oh, it's 4 in the morning, so it's time for me to go to bed. Well, anyway, thanks for viewing. If you liked the video, click that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.